What's up, friends from Five Reasons? Welcome to the post-game show tonight with me. You're stuck with me tonight, Alejandro Villegas from the Five Reasons Sports Network. We don't have our regular crew from the post-up show, so we are sorry for you guys because we have to hang with us tonight after the 120-108 win by the Miami Heat facing the Oklahoma City Thunder. We're going to have an episode of Five on the Floor with Ethan Skolnick and Brady Hawk coming up soon in our regular podcast feed. So you guys are welcome to check that out as soon as you can. But for tonight, let's go and review what went on and some of the key moments and stats from tonight's matchup. The Miami Heat um, beating the Oklahoma City Thunder 120 to 108. The advantage was at some point of about 29-30 points. He got to that difference between the two teams, but at the end, even Eric Spoelstra got a little mad with the team because of the defense. Of course, they let off a little bit, and now the final score was just 120 to 108. One of those wins, and I know, like our friend here says, a good dub is one of those teams that Miami Heat is just used to just playing down to the opponent in that moment. So let's review some of the moments. What's up, guys? Our friend Tony is going to come up sometime soon here to talk a little bit about the game and just review what went on tonight. Again, our regular post-up show crew is not here with us tonight. They have the day off, like Jimmy Butler and Victor Oladipo. So, welcome to our different style post-game show. How are you?
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting, Alejandro. I'm great, man. Heat win. Pepas came on a little early, so that's always a
Yeah,
great thing.
he came up with like 5 minutes left in the game, so they that's
After
how.
after Gasolina too, so we had Gasolina in the Pepas. Like I was hype.
That definitely went a little wild tonight. That's for sure. So I mean, what these games are? It's not a must-win game, but it's one of those that if you lose, it gives you it gets you a bad taste in the mouth. So I guess they did what they had to do and nothing else, right? I mean, they took care of business. It was kind of a slow start, and they hung around a little bit, but we're used to the Miami Heat kind of doing this with this type of rivals, right?
Yeah, especially staying close into the first half. I think what you love to see out of the team is just the energy right out of the bat, right? Like those BAM screens were powerful. Everybody was really trying to fight over every single screen that was played on the defensive end. So
Right.
that was awesome to see. Duncan coming out, hitting 3 threes quick, active hands in the passing lane right off the jump street. Like you knew that this team didn't have 4 quarters to play with the Miami Heat. It just wasn't
Right.
there. They didn't have the bodies for it. But it's still exciting, man, because if you drop, let's say you play this team tight and you drop them, you're going into a Philly game
Right.
in kind of a must-win situation because Milwaukee's right on our heels, man. They're 2 games back. We could drop this 1 seed really quick if we're not careful.
Right. Did the Bucks play tonight? No, right? So they're 2.5 back after tonight's
Mm-hmm.
win against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Let's read some of the guys' comments here. Tony, we're gonna do it differently tonight. Way to go, fellas! Our friend James Studd. Who's this dude? I'm Alejandro. This is Tony. We're mostly on the pregame show. So I know you guys are not watching the pregame show if you're asking who we are. So there you go. We got you. Alan says offense just flows without Jimmy. What do you think about this? Because this is something that always goes around. With Jimmy's not playing, it seems like the offense is a little bit more of sharing the ball. Everybody gets in. What do you think about it?
Yo, so this is something I hate that Twitter does, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the style.
We are experts in just complaining about anything and everything.
Absolutely. And we're going to find something. Like the style of basketball is not the same, right? Like even the first couple possessions were DHOs for Duncan, which harkens back to that 2021 experience that we
Yeah.
had. But you know why people hated that 2021 experience? Because that offense sucks. It's horrific to watch Duncan shoot 30 freaking threes a night and just pray that he's shooting a high percentage to win basketball games. The style of basketball the Miami Heat want to execute to win basketball games is hard nosed, body on body, getting to the rim, putting pressure on defenses. Jimmy Butler executes that better than anybody else in this team besides maybe Markieff Morris tonight.
Yeah, yeah.
Looked very Jimmy Butler-y.
And we're gonna talk about Morris because he got a lot of minutes and in a role that maybe we were not expecting. Right? We're gonna talk about it here in a second. Let me see. Jay Smith is saying the crew is load managing. Yes, the
Yeah.
entire post-up show crew. We have to send them to somewhere in the Caribbean, and they'll be back for Monday night for the game against the Sixers. So they're fine. Arlene, don't worry, they're gonna be back for the next game. Regular post game show crew out with toe injuries. Yes, they have their toes right now in the beach, so I think they're fine. They're
I
taking
like
care
this.
of that.
People who don't watch the pregame show are exposing themselves. I like this.
Yeah. UD has a new friend on the bench, Deadmon. Okay, since our friend Jeff Tapp is saying this, let's go to this topic because it's interesting. I mean, I didn't think we were gonna have this subject coming out of this particular game, and I don't know if it's just because it was against the Thunder, so they wanted to give maybe Morris a little bit more minutes to see what happened. I don't know. I mean, these games are kind of. I mean, they're not gonna test it against the Sixers, right? So, what do you think about the Morris Dedman Yurtseven situation there in the backup center?
Yeah, I think that there's matchup dependent play here.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. I think another piece of this is, hey guys, Deadman shows up to warmups looking like Dr. Octavius, man. That waistband he has is super high tech. Like his back isn't the best. So I think there's a piece of that to it. But honestly, what I saw out of Keefe tonight was a guy who was flashing into the post, jumping in the hedge off of drivers, a guy who is dipping back to the basket to try and protect the rim and try and create offensive and defensive rebounds for us. It looked a hell of a lot like Bam Adebayo.
Right.
So if you have a guy that can come right off the bench and play that Bam role, you might have to consider that getting more minutes.
Yeah, and it's got to be an option. Remember, every different team is gonna give you a different challenge, right? So,
Right.
and remember, I remember in the bubble run when sometimes for some series, Mayers Leonard was the one playing the five. Then it changed. I mean, suppose trying something different, and he's getting ready for the playoffs, like Kyle Lowry said a couple of games ago. Let me see. Tiro is that guy. Can't believe people wanted him traded. This is a hot
People
topic
still want
because
him traded.
I mean, for some people, he's still the key to get that big whale that we're always I was expecting here in Miami. With tonight, what was it? 26 points. What was the last? 26 points tonight. So he's right there, up there with Jimmy Butler, fighting for the leading scorer of the team. So what do you think? Or what do you have to say
Well,
about Tyler
he
Hero?
actually just became the leading scorer of the team,
There you
and
go.
Ethan made a great point of this on pregame. He's not giving it up. This is just who Tyler Hero is. For him to come off the court with the what looked like thank gosh it wasn't a high ankle sprain, and then to come
Right.
back and continue right where he left off and pick it right back up and drop 26 on that team. This guy is serious. And I talked about this on Five on the Floor the other night.
Mm-hmm.
What's most exciting about Tyler Hero is he gives you the opportunity to not have to swing for the fences every offseason. You have a serious player that you've grown inside your system that can reliably be a 3-level scorer and can give you enough defensively that his impact on the floor will always be a positive. And outside of that, it's a hell of a clutch shot maker. Like, I feel super secure with him in fourth quarters.
And besides that, I mean, this Miami Heat team that we have this season, we don't know how much longer we can keep all these different pieces, right? Because some of these guys are maybe going to get or expect more money in the next coming years. So this is probably the best version of this team, the one we're watching right now. So, and Tyler Hero has a lot to do with that. He's with Bam Adebayo, probably one of the pieces to build around,
Mm-hmm.
especially after, I don't know, Kyle Lowry and Jimmy Butler step away a little bit, and maybe even Duncan Robinson goes to that second second type of player, right? Let me see. Let me read some other messages here. Moore is getting all he can get during the regular season because he'll play 2 minutes per series in the
Maybe.
playoffs. We'll see. Maybe we'll see what happens on Monday against the Sixers, right? I mean, that's going to give us a little bit of an idea of what's going on with Eric Spoelstra and these backup centers. We ain't better team without Jimmy, but he definitely ain't the best player on the team right now. Ooh, this is another topic that's been coming up in Heat Twitter. Who's the best player on the team right now? Is it Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo,
Uh,
Jimmy Butler?
Yeah, still Jimmy Butler, man. Jimmy Butler's an elite two-way basketball player. I mean, at the end of the day, everything that he does on the floor just makes us a better basketball team. I think what fans get tired of seeing is Jimmy loving that one-legged freaking three-point shot, that
Oh,
one-legged
or yeah,
pull-up or
yeah.
long two, and that
Especially in the
sticks in their
clutch,
minds.
right? Especially with the games on the
Ugh.
line, and he keeps the ball and tries to shoot at just a Kobe
I
Bryant type of shot.
I think Jimmy has to get to the point that Kyle's gotten to, where Kyle will defer to Tyler when he's on the floor in clutch situations. And Jimmy just has to get to that point. Kyle is now, or Tyler is now the closer. There's no more conversation about it. This is our best scorer. He can create any shot that he wants on the floor. That dude should be taking the shots in the clutch. And outside of that, Jimmy should never be off the floor for too long.
Right, and the thing is, you have Tyler Hero, you have Bam Adebayo, you can go to the basket. You can also, I mean, PJ Tucker from the three line in that corner shot has been money as well. He's been hitting shots late in games, late in important games as well. So you have options. That's the thing. You can run any type of play besides just Jimmy grabbing the ball and trying to, I don't know, do magic
But
with it.
you still always trust Jimmy Butler to make the
I
right
mean, I
play. And I
trust him to
think
have the
that's what's
ball, just
important.
not to keep it
Yeah.
for 15 seconds waiting for the clock to run down and not run any particular play. So that's what I'm talking about here. All right, let's keep reading some of you guys' messages. Would have been nice to have Depot getting some reps tonight. Well, he's having some issues in his lower back and trying to get back in basketball shape as well. So it's kind of normal that he's taking tonight off. I
Low
mean,
back pain.
yeah. Morris gets the same looks as Bam, so he slots in easy. That's the thing. I mean, Morris is a pretty good shooter from those distances, and Bam has been working on it. But I mean, Morris has been doing this for how many years now? So, and he has the experience in a championship team. So, why not just try it there? I mean, I it was surprising to me, but I liked what I saw today. I don't know if you have the same feeling about this situation.
I loved what I saw. I just
Mhm.
saw it against OKC. So
Right. We have
you
to wait and see if this is something that we can keep in the. I mean, and if it's gonna stay that way against the best rivals that the Miami Heat is gonna face. Are we worried about PJ's offense? He's struggling even from the corners. Are you worried about PJ Tucker? I mean, he's been one of the most. He has to be the one with more games this season, right?
Yeah, and he's been absolutely prolific from the corner for most of the season. I mean, he's led the league in that right corner spot and in field goal percentage. And I think he was leading the league from both corners for a while. Look, the deal with PJ is that he's a vet.
Right.
And we are at the tail end of a regular season where he just needs to get to the playoffs healthy. So I think that this might be one of those things with PJ where we might not see the best version of him until we get back into real
Well,
basketball.
hopefully that's the case. But like our friend Ariel Jackson said, I mean, we shouldn't rely on PJ for offense, right? We have so many
Correct.
different players that are supposed to score in that starting lineup. That I mean, he should be the
And
fifth option, right?
Yeah, and PJ honestly works best with a Jimmy Butler on the floor, so the two of them can really apply pressure on the rim and off ball cuts from the perimeter on closeouts. Like PJ spaces out the floor so much for Jimmy to apply vertical rim pressure, getting those teams into the bonuses early, putting bodies on bodies early, really banging on the inside. That's the Heat brand of basketball, and we're going to see a lot of that tomorrow. There'll be a good, or the next game against 76ers, we're going to see some of that.
Yeah. And talking about the next game, to our friend, I don't know your name, so you have to tell me your name. But to our friend here, yes, you should be
Your boy
watching the
needs some milk.
pregame show with us. We go live 1 hour. I mean, it's not with us. We have more people. We have about 5, 6 people most of the time. Greg, Ethan, Brady, Jonathan, Ricky, even Tony,
Sean
Sean.
sometimes, me.
I mean, Timmy. We have a lot of we have a good crowd there. So definitely come up. We go live 1 hour before every game. So make sure you tune in as well for the pregame show. I hope Kyle stays aggressive. This was another topic. I mean, going off after Kyle came back from his last personal issues absence. He, I mean, it seemed like he wasn't aggressive enough taking shots or even going to the rim. I mean, are you happier a little bit today with what you saw? Or I mean, it's still OKC, so I don't know.
Man, okay, again, Heat fans, man, I love you guys. I love you guys. Everything that I do is enabled by you watching us and being pissed
Right.
that I'm not royal, which I understand, I get. But
I
look,
mean, we are not royal, but
we're
this is
not
what you
royal.
get tonight.
So look, I don't understand the want for Kyle Lowry to come in here and be this offensive weapon when the team, what they require of him is to be the master of the little things. And oh my God, was he the master of the little things today? All the hit ahead passes, the crafty rebounds, the the point of attack defense, like
Yeah.
just in control of himself, in control of the offense, setting everybody up the right ways. Kyle does that better than any other point guard not named Chris Paul. And that's exactly what he's supposed to do here. So his shooting is a plus. And when he's hitting, we win games, right? There's that stat. If he hits 4 threes, we win 70% of our games. That's a pretty good freaking number. But it's not necessary. It's like Duncan's shooting. It's not necessary to win games. It helps cover up mistakes. It's not necessary. So we like to see consistent and happy and aggressive Kyle.
Right.
But I would rather see Kyle not turning the ball over and engaging on defense. That's what I want to see.
Well, a little bit of everything, right? And especially from a guy so experienced like Kyle Lowry. Reading some of you guys' comments, some of you think Tyler's the best player, some of you think Jim is the best player. Arlene comes with a very good balance
Middle of the
between
road
both. I
take.
mean, yeah, she's saying that Jim is the best player overall. Tyler's just the best offensive player, and Bam is the best defensive player. So we have a little bit of everything, and that's good. I mean, this is a team that's built to be in the playoffs and to fight for the championship, hopefully. So, all right, let's keep reading some of you guys' messages. Let's talk about Gabe not working at all as a two guard. What do you think about Joel Prieto and his message?
Joel, it's not looking too great, man. You're pretty right. Gabe is having some tough moments, especially down the stretch. Here's the honest
I
to
mean,
God
but
truth.
he's been having all. I mean, early in the season, he also had a great moment. So we have to balance it a little bit, right?
Yeah, but you know what, Alejandro? Just to me, from my perspective, Victor Oladipo is just an upgrade button on Gabe Vincent.
Right.
And the reality is, unless something happens, Gabe Vincent's the guy who's going to get a cut in some of these playoff minutes, and Max Strus as well is the guy that's going to get cut in these playoff minutes. Because Caleb, you have to put on the floor. He's the best slip man that we have on the team. He will kill switches like the Brooklyn Nets. Caleb Martin is going to be an absolute weapon against the Brooklyn Nets. So we got to play him. And then Depot, you got to play him because he's just a vertical rim pressure. And playing with Tyler off the bench, he's going to get minutes. So Gabe's minutes were getting shrunk anyway. So I don't know how big of a problem his regression is, or if Gabe's regression is actually happening, or if it's just a slump, or what's going on. But I'm not too worried about it because we got Victor Oladipo.
Right. Well, hopefully Victor can get to his best level when it matters, right, in the playoffs. And that's what they're working for. Ariel Jackson says Kyle is a vet. He'll know when to score. I mean, maybe he's like he said, he's getting ready for the real season. Hopefully that's the case. Said how good is Heroes pick and roll and with any big who's semi decent at putting the ball in the basket.
It's pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's an easy question. Let me see what else, what other subjects we have here. Okay, Caleb Martin. Can we talk about how important Caleb Martin is? All right, Caleb Martin, what do you think about this player and I mean his role this year? It's gonna be hard for Spoelstra to have a 9-man rotation for these playoffs because it seems like he has like 11 or 12 that can actually help at some point during any series.
There's going to be guys that are matchup dependent, I think. I think
Yeah.
Gabe is one of those guys. Devin is one of those guys. Caleb is not. Caleb is a real rotation player for this team. His importance, it cannot be understated. When he was getting injured with the Achilles, I was on the take him off the court, let him recover boat because that's how important I think he is. When we play the Bucks, when we play the Nets, we're going to have to run into one of those teams. We are needing his presence on the floor. There is no better slip man on this team. There's nobody that can kill a switch defense better than Caleb Martin. And by the way, his shot is almost automatic now. Above the break, he's shooting like 41% from three. And even though I never trust it when I watch it, it's always going in. He's killing from behind that line.
Well, hopefully he can do that. Do the same. I mean, I think his best game was against the Bucks this season, right
Hmm.
before he got
Switching defense.
yeah, COVID. So hopefully we can see that version of Caleb Martin in the playoffs. Okay, let me see what y'all think about Tyler's progression as far as passing the ball. Way better than last year, right? Well, that was one of the problems. Remember when he started the season as a point guard, and it
Hmm.
just didn't quite work for the man. Now it's been much better this season.
Yeah, I mean, not only has it been much better just eye test wise, but statistically too. I mean, Tyler's TOV percentage is way down. His assist to turnover percentage is way up. He's a hell of a creator. He's seeing the pass in the corner. That's called a skip pass when he's driving, then hits the corner. He's seeing the corner skip pass. He's seeing the dump off. His footwork's so much better. He's able to get into the lane and then hit the dump off pass, which is something he wasn't doing effectively last year. Also, last year he was dumping that ball off to Chris Silva, so that was a problem. Um, so that it's like he's growing in every facet of his game, and most importantly, Alejandro, he's getting to the free throw line, which is the real next progression for him, and he's actually gotten there. His free throw rate is great. He's shooting 27 every 100 shots. He's getting 27 free throws as an excellent number that puts him in the 98th percentile for all combo guards. We love that.
Not bad. What do you think about Rafael? I'm gonna suppose that your name is Rafael. I don't know, but I'm gonna go with that. Duncan Robinson only plays good against garbage teams. What do you think? True or false?
There's also a couple stats about political affiliated teams, but
Ooh.
we'll leave that in a different place. Look, Duncan, I think shoots well when we tailor some offense for him. And tonight he had some offense tailored for him. It was very clear we were coming out to run the DHO for him, and Bam was active and engaged in trying to set a hard screen to give him that space to get good looks. He's a volume shooter, people. Shooters are going to shoot. They're going to go up. They're going to go down. He's hitting like at what 41%, 39% for three for the year right now. That's an incredible clip. He's still one of the elite shooters in the game. I know that this is not a conversation a lot of people like to have. He's freaking amazing at his job. He does what he does. But this year, we just don't need him to hit those shots. It helps. We just don't need him to hit it to win games. But I don't think he shoots better against bad teams. I think bad teams have worse wing defenders, and it's harder to fight over a Bam screen and a PJ screen when you're not an elite wing defender.
I mean, and numbers show it. I wrote a piece about Duncan Robinson because people were really like looking at it. Okay, he's struggling so much, and it's right. I mean, they're right. But in the last, I don't know, 40 games or so, his numbers are back to where they used to be. So
Yeah.
if you look at it, it was just a 20 game slump. Which, if you look in a long career, that's nothing. That's just, I mean, maybe 1, 2, 3 bad months, and that's it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens and how they can use him in the playoffs, and he can perform when it matters. He did it in the bubble, so we know he can do it when he actually matters. How peaceful this post show? No slander at all. Yeah, I mean it's not our style. It's what you got today. A little bit of more analysis and our opinion is not as strong, I guess, as the post-up show crew, but this is what you get, and hopefully you guys are enjoying it because we're doing what we can here. Our friend Jose Matos is I still trust the Nigerian Jesus. It's about time. He kind of yeah, I like it, Jose. Thank you. Caleb Martin is our glue guy of the future. He reminds me so much of a young Shane Battier. Oh, there you go.
Look, you know what though? Other teams think that too. And you're talking about guys we have to
Money.
pay. Caleb's going to be one of those guys. And I'm going to be honest, folks. PJ Tucker declines that player option. We have to sign him to a full MLE so we can get him to pick up his player option on Tyler's first extension year. And they're
Yeah.
already starting to think about that. I promise you. Caleb Martin might be one of these guys that we have to let slip because we can't give him a piece of that MLE.
Right. Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, they can keep them all. But like I said, enjoy this team because it might
Enjoy
be the
it.
best version or the most complete version that you guys get because of, I mean, the money situation, and we'll see what happens there. Caleb is the Jimmy continuation in defense. Who's the best beat? Who's the Heat's best defender? Well, it has to be
Bam
Bam, right?
Adebayo.
He's a candidate for the defensive player of the year, so he has to be the best defender on the team, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Absolutely not worried about Kyle, Jimmy, or PJ. These guys are playoff proven. They all have championships. So, well, not Jimmy. I was
Jimmy.
thinking of Morris. Even Bam and Hero have playoff experience. Miami, other young players will have to show what they're made of in the playoffs. That's right. I mean, but we said the same about Tyler Hero a couple of years ago, and we saw what happened. So,
Yeah, well, this is the whole point of giving Caleb and Gabe and these guys. They got 30, 40 minutes of run throughout December, man. They're ready.
right. All right, let's see if we have any other subject around here. If not, we're gonna wrap it up. It's Friday night. I know you guys want to go out, party, celebrate. The Miami Heat is first in the Eastern Conference.
Pepas.
There you go. We can't play Pepas here because then we're
No.
gonna get flagged. But you guys can play it in your own homes. Let me see. Late game situation. Let's close with this one. Late game situation. Tyler or Kyle with the ball, and why? And why not Jimmy Butler? Ariel would be my question. But I don't know. Jimmy's out. Tyler or Kyle with the ball. What would be your pick?
This is so hard. This is way harder than we think it is. I'm gonna go Tyler. I've actually gotten there with him where I just trust his handle and I trust his dribble enough and I trust his decision making. And I think that Kyle is one of these guys that teams will choose to not cover. They will give space so they can stop Tyler's drive.
Right. Like if I guess you feel like they could double team Tyler, but they wouldn't double team Kyle Lowry, for example.
They wouldn't double team Kyle. And I trust Tyler if he gets a strong hedge or if he gets a double on a drive, that he'll find the right guy.
Right. And here's a guy, Joel, saying Tyler, because of his size is keen to get shots off. The thing is also, are we losing by 2? Are we tied? What's the situation here? Because if you're losing by 3, maybe you wanna have Kyle with the ball and then trying to run something to get somebody open, right? For a 3.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's also a little bit of situation dependent, but it's a good question. We can start running these drills before the postseason is here because we are probably gonna see these type of situations. All right. Well, Tony, I think this is it for tonight. It was great. I thought it was gonna be a little shorter, but we got carried away because we had so many comments and so many subjects to
appreciate you guys
about in this different style post game show here on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Remember to follow Tony. You have his handle right there under his image right there. There you got. There you have it. You have mine right over here, right there. There you go. And remember to subscribe if you haven't done so here on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. Give it a thumbs up, give it a like. That helps us to keep building this community. We're gonna reach at some point, hopefully before the postseason is here, we're gonna reach the 17,000 subscribers, and that's a lot, and that's thanks to you guys. Thank you very much. We're coming to you with more and more coverage for different sports. Baseball, I'm going to be there tomorrow. Jupiter covering the Marlins. I know nobody likes the Marlins, but I have to go cover them. Hopefully they make a move at some point. We have a Formula One show coming up as well.
We have an F1 show coming?
Yes.
And no one's told me about this.
Yeah, Manny and Vishnu and Jazz and Monica are talking about
Formula One. I'm making an appearance. I'm doing it.
Yes, and the first race is on Sunday, so we're going ahead with that. Inter Miami Dolphins. We had a lot of content here on the YouTube channel as well about the Miami Dolphins, so we got you covered. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so, and thank you very much for joining us tonight. Have a good night. Arlene, thank you. Thank you, Jay. I mean, we showed up. We had enough, right? This is it.
We had enough.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, guys. Have a good night and enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you back on Monday. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead and go by and check out our pregame show. We're going to have a lot of fun with you guys there. Bye-bye. Have a good night.